All right, welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. Myles Udland here in New York. Let's take a look at the market about 25 minutes into today's trading session. We see that all three majors are in the red, though just slightly. The biggest losses right now are being suffered by the Nasdaq and Brian Sozzi. The Nasdaq is working on a 9-day winning streak. Saw a record close for the Nasdaq to begin the week. And I know that we've talked a lot about the Nasdaq on this program, Saz, and I would say certainly relative to how I am viewing the market right now, I feel like you're a little bit more cautious, a little bit more concerned about the things that you are seeing out there. And it also goes back to what we saw on Friday, which is a nice little milestone for investors. First time all three majors hit a record close since January of 2018. We all know what happened next then.
Myles, I just report the news. I have views on absolutely nothing. But as pertains to this Nasdaq's 9-day streak, pretty impressive here. Fresh record set for 3 straight sessions. 4 out of the past 5 sessions have been records. That's good. Tesla has been leading this advance. The stock over the past 9 days up 7%. According to Yahoo Finance Premium data. So I did want to talk up or chat up some of my Wall Street friends to see what in the world is going on. I talked to Keith Lerner this morning here via email. He said with COVID cases back on the rise, you're seeing investor money go back into tech because tech, big cap tech, that's where the growth is and that's where investors want to be. Also talked to Tom Essay, Sevens Report Research founder. He brought up a good point. Semiconductors have been on fire over the past few weeks, as they should be. Keep in mind, we just had Micron last week raise its sales guidance by some $700 billion. They raised the low end of their profit guidance by about 29 cents. That is pretty good in this environment. Then Dan Ives, friend of the program, Wedbush tech analyst, he tells me brought up some really good earnings so far over the past 2 weeks from Zscaler, Zoom, Okta. These companies have absolutely crushed it. So it's not necessarily thirsty cash trading these tech names higher because of momentum. There's some real fundamental drivers here, Myles.
At the same time, Sozzi, one of the questions I'll be asking going into year end that I haven't seen a lot of discussion about, kind of two phenomenon coming together. One is how well stocks, and particularly those stocks you're pointing to, have done this year. And do we see some sort of year-end tax selling? That compounded with the fact that we're seeing an incoming Biden administration that is seen as raising taxes on the wealthiest Americans. So I do wonder if you're going to get kind of, as we get further into December at some point, and I guess this would be more a question for a tax attorney or someone managing those folks' money, if we are going to see some of those kinds of moves, at least at the margin, as people try to lock up the gains that we've seen this year and not have them be vulnerable to any kind of tax regime changes.
It makes sense. Sell all your Apple gains before year end and get ready for, I don't know, what? Taxes going to 40%. Who knows, Myles?
I love profit taking as a story, locking in gains, because it's always true to like sometimes, but in general, it is like we could do a whole, I'm sure they actually do this in business school, not that I've ever been. You could do an entire semester on the conventions of how one discusses a daily market move and whether there is how much validity there is or is not on any one day about that. Just want to note here for the viewers, we are discussing the Nasdaq 100, slightly different than the Nasdaq Composite Nasdaq 100, 100 biggest non-financial names that are traded on the Nasdaq. That is the index that's been up 9 days in a row. Nasdaq Composite, 3-day winning streak, both at records. So, everybody's winning, but a slight clarification there on a technicality here. Jared Blickery flagging this for us in our Slacks. All right.